Live.
Hey, welcome everybody to our podcast, kind of impromptu get-together hangout with the cast of Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. This was something that we really threw together at the last minute, really random, but we were talking with Nick the other day. He was doing his cameo work with, the whole Leon get up and everything. And we're like, well, why don't we see if we could do like a little live stream? And then the ball started rolling. It's like, well, let's see if the Resident Evil 3 guys want to get involved. And sure enough, they were all on board. So we've got Neil, Nicole, and Jeff Shine all with us. We've got the RE2 cast with Nick and Stephanie and Jolene with us. You see Nick and Stephanie are in costume, which is pretty amazing. You guys look incredible.
Dude, I'm in costume.
I've got costume bits and pieces.
There you go.
I look ridiculous. I'm gonna have to leave it.
I also have some pieces, but like I haven't premiered the costume yet, so I wasn't quite ready to jump in.
You guys are putting together costumes.
Well, we're looking forward to that, Nicole.
Oh yeah, we're getting on it.
Yeah, so we wanted to hang out. We wanted to kind of show, I guess, some solidarity, do some healing. We lost Paul recently, which is really sad. Paul Haddad. And we are working on a special celebration video of his, career and what he means to the Resident Evil family. That's something we're putting together on the side. But I think bringing us all together just to kind of, like I said, heal together is a good idea. Plus, we've got the virus, which has been affecting us for several months now, and it's very uncertain times. So we are raising money. We're going to take whatever we get from this video. We're going to put it towards the Crisis Aid International. Many of our guests here are also doing their own charity campaigns, which we'll talk about as we come around. And I think this is just a good little hour hangout session for us to kind of get together and have some fun together for a change with what's going on right now.
For sure. This will be fun. We got the whole Raccoon City survivors. They're all here.
It's a little mini row convention. How about that?
Yeah. Well, we're all social distancing.
Yeah, with all the cons, canceled for the foreseeable future, it's really fun to come together and like actually talk to some of our RE2 amazing cast members as well, because we haven't personally met in person yet.
Yeah, that's true. We're bringing together.
No, this is the first time for us all.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Worlds are colliding.
Yes.
It's like speed Zoom dating.
This is nice.
I've never dated so many people at the same time.
There's like 7 of you, and we're all really attractive.
Thank God I'm not on screen.
I just want to say real quick.
So I'll just take
all
one
of us coming together.
Yeah. Go for it, Nick.
All of us coming together is really indicative of the Resident Evil community in general, because this fan base, you guys are probably getting a sense of that right now, and buckle up, because the fan base for this series is hardcore. So all of us come together is just that represents just what this whole franchise has been for the past 2.5 decades. So I'm just happy to be part of it with all of you guys.
Well, let's go down the line and let give everybody a quick chance to introduce yourselves. If they haven't seen your faces yet, here we go. You can show them yourselves. And we are releasing the interviews this week. I want everybody to know that's waiting on the Resident Evil 3 interviews. We have most of the cast with us here today. So we will be taking questions from you guys to pass to them. But also, we do have the interviews coming up soon, launching this week. I think we're going to start putting out on Tuesday with Nicole, I believe, is the plan. So be prepared. Resident Evil 3 cast interviews coming soon.
Nice.
All right, well, let's go down the horn. I guess we'll start with Nick. You're in the top left of my screen here, so I'll start with you, and you're in your awesome Leon cosplay.
Yeah, what's up, guys? My name is Nick Apostolidis, and I voiced and mocapped Leon Kennedy in the Resident Evil 2 remake 2019.
And you're doing cameo for charity, right? Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, we've raised a lot of money this weekend already, and they're going to all the money is going to 5 different charities to support the virus relief.
Excellent. So if you guys want to get a nice shout out from Leon, because you're doing it in cosplay, or are you doing it just normal, or both?
Today I did 4 in cosplay, and when this is done, I'm gonna do a couple more.
All right.
They're getting extra special shout outs. I didn't plan it that way. It's just they're due, and I have to do them.
All of your cameo requests right now. Guilted into doing as many as possible for the rest of the day.
You'll be there for 4 days straight shooting cameos.
I can't change or shower the next 2 days. Damn.
And next up, we've got Stephanie. She's in her Claire cosplay, which is awesome. Stephanie, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. I mean, as great as one can do during quarantine. So, but I'm doing good. Yeah. I mean, I don't know really what to say. I think Leon's on this. Leon, oh my God, I just called you Leon. Jesus.
Thank you.
Nick, dang it. You can't be dressed like that. My brain can't tell who the hell is who anymore. Okay. So, I think Nick's been on the Cameo train here. I'm on Cameo as well. I don't know exactly how to do all the stuff with donations just yet, but I am completely open to it. So, I might as well take requests today too if I'm already dressed. So, so I'll check out what to do. But if you guys want to give me a heads up on how to do that, I will definitely get on the bandwagon with that too. So
I'll help you with that.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
And we've also got Jolene Ada. She's here with us today. How you doing, Jolene?
Hi guys, I'm Jolene Anderson, and I am the mocap voice-over actor for Ada for RE2. I've done a bunch of other games too, so you can check that out. I think we're on this chapter today though, because we're paying special homage to Paul. And I too, yes, I'm up on Cameo, and my charity of choice was No Child Hungry. So for this weekend, if you request any cameos from me, we'll feed some hungry kids during this like crazy time. So yeah, and my cosplay, I tried. Like I have this like wig, and it looks really terrible, and I got these glasses, and this looks a little ridiculous. I got some like
You should have put it on.
I know, put it on.
And I put it all together, and I came out here, and I was like, I look ridiculous.
Oh.
So here I am. Anyone wants to help me out on that front.
Oh man, I want to see it, Jolene.
Yep. And now we've also got the cast of Resident Evil 3 with us. Nicole, how are you?
Hey, I'm Nicole Tompkins. I'm the voice and performance capture artist for Jill Valentine in the RE3 remake. I don't know if you've heard of it. It seems to be kind of exciting news at the moment. With home playing. I'm also on Cameo, but I'm new to Cameo, so I have not set it up with charities, but the same, super open to it. Probably should go take a look at how that works. It's been super fun to see some of the requests coming in and get to chat with what Nick already mentioned is such an amazing community. This is, of course, our first introduction to really get fully onboarded into just kind of the passion of Raccoon City Resident Evil fans.
Yeah, you're joining a big universe of some very passionate fans, so be prepared.
Welcome to the family.
We've also got Carlos on, Jeff Shine. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm good. Hey guys, I'm Jeff Shine. I voiced and mocapped Carlos in Resident Evil 3. And later on this week, I'll be announcing actually my partnership with Cameo and their charitable donations. We'll be doing it with the LA Food Bank. But there'll be more on that later on. And it's just good to be here with everybody.
Awesome. And then the last one of our group is our man overseas, Neil. How you doing, Neil?
I'm all right. Thank you very much. Hello.
Dastardly Nikolai.
You see, I have trouble. I have resting psycho face, so if I don't smile, I'm just so
First
I
I've
tend
ever
to
heard
say
that.
villains quite a lot. Yeah,
That's a good one.
So hi, I'm Neil Newbon. I'm a neo hippie. I play a lot of villains in quite a lot of titles. I've been in games about 10 years, performance capture and voiceover, and I get to play Nikolai. I also get to play Nemesis. Now, I didn't do the Stars Nemesis line. That was actually one of the programmers from Capcom. I'm tracking him down because I want to find him. We didn't know who was going to do the voice in the end because they never mentioned it. I was like, oh, I just say Stars the whole time. So I want to find him and I want to promote him because he's not an actor, but he did do it, which is really cool. In terms of charity stuff, there's an amazing guy called Captain Tom Moore, who is raised something crazy like 15 or even maybe more £1 million for doing 100 laps around his the retirement home he lives in. He's 100 years old, so it doesn't sound like much, but he's my on a Zimmer frame, man. So I want to promote his stuff, which I'm going to be donating to. But the Cameo thing is very new to me, so I'm going to ask my brother and sister, Jeff and Nicole, about that when obviously the rest of the gang tell us, because that's something very new. I don't know if it's applicable to wherever I am in the world right now. I always has undisclosed location, so that's possible. I will tell you, this is just a cough because I have a cough. This is nothing to be worried about.
We believe
Love
you.
to meet you. Thank you so
Into
much.
the dollhouse with you.
Yeah, go
Into the dollhouse.
step into the tent.
I can't talk about the dollhouse. It's been blurred for a reason, so it may or may not be my private, so I can't talk about it. But lovely to meet you, and thank you so much for the
Yeah.
community to embracing all of us. I appreciate it.
It's really incredible to have all of you here today, and I'm glad we were able to kind of work this out last minute. I think we're all reeling from the news that we got with Paul passing away, and I think we're all dealing with that individually. I know there's a lot of people in the cast that you guys do your roles. You're not into the bigger part of the universe yet with the old casting or how much the fans love you. You're kind of learning that, and you're going to get there. But there's definitely a strong connection between the fans and the actors. So, we want to give our love to Paul, and we are working on a video, and we also want to come here and give you guys something to enjoy for at least a little bit of your day during these hard times.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, just going through some of the super chats we've gotten so far. Reminder: all super chats and donations are going to Crisis Aid International. We got one from Jabbar. He says Oreos. We know who that's directed at, Nick.
Oh,
he's eating them right
yes,
now.
yes.
Perfect.
Right there.
he's got the
Double
Oreos.
Double
Are you an
stuff.
Oreo man?
Hell yeah.
I feel
That's
we're
all
enabling an
he
Oreo
eats.
addiction. We're not talking about.
I'm
Crack one open for that super chat right now.
I don't want to admit that there's 3 packages in my cupboard.
Nick, I just want you to eat that entire package while we sit here right now. Just
Do
Just
the whole thing for
Get
charity.
started.
Just
That-
Be
nonstop.
done in 2 minutes for charity.
I told Nick his addiction with Oreos is getting out of hand to the point where he's eventually going to become Fat Leon and he's going to cosplay with the gut hanging out.
I would totally play Flat Leon. That's amazing. Is this like one of those things? Like, is that like the kind of like?
2 million Oreos.
Is that like the Cool Hand Luke thing of like, I can eat 50 Oreos. I can eat 50 Oreos. You just get bored and that's the challenge.
Yeah.
It's a good challenge.
Well, the
Yeah,
thing
he
is,
makes it look like he needs a challenge, but he'll eat it no matter what. He doesn't need a
Yeah, he
challenge.
just loves Oreos.
Love
Yeah.
whatever.
We did, our
I'm
packaging-
really impressed that you do it dry because I'm all about like Oreos and almond milk or some sort of liquid.
yeah,
You need a dunk. You need to dunk it.
I can't do
Oh, I
Oreos
do-
without some
Without the
dunk
dunk?
action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
I'm all
I
about
put them in a
the-
bowl and eat them like cereal
Oh,
with a spoon.
that's
Oh
smart.
wow. Okay, great. Good.
Try
Good.
that. That's a new level.
This is Nick's health and fitness advice. This is how you're like, Nick, how do you keep that? Shay, how do you look so good? And he's like, Oreos from a bowl like cereal.
How do you
My
keep
Oreos from
morale and
2 bowls of Oreos. Yeah.
No.
excessive amounts of Oreos?
Yeah. Heck, carb out.
Yep. We got another $5 one here from Brand Duct Tape. Says, "What's up, Nick, Jolene, and Steph? Also, warm hello to the RE3 cast.
Hey, Brad.
Hi,
all is well
Brad.
with the lockdown.
What's up, Brad?
Brad, right now. I didn't say Brand, or I said Brad.
You said Brand.
It's Brad.
Okay.
Oh,
I read that. I was
know
like,
Brad. It's
I was thinking,
okay.
like-
That's a buddy of mine.
Brand Duct Tape. That's
Brad's a legend.
He's a duct tape guy.
Yeah, he likes the duct tape.
Man.
I've seen a lot of people asking, Nicole, do you remember the Stars line? One of the most iconic lines.
Is it
from
Jill's iconic stars line? Do
Yep.
I remember it? Ha ha ha! You know how many times I've said that line? Why are we getting quests?
Well, they're still waiting for it. People want to hear it. You got a second?
Google search.
Do you want stars? I'll give you stars.
There you go.
All right, nailed it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hell yeah.
Yay.
There's so many applications of that line, though. I've definitely started going around my house and being like, do you want stars?
Give you stars. Do you want Oreos? Because I will give you Oreos.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I just burst into my living room and I'm like, do you want stars? Just really, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, we saw. It's great. Good job, Nick.
Oh,
We
that's
got another
awesome.
$5 from Wolfpack Productions. I want to say thank you to everyone for the hard work and amazing quality you all put into the games. Thank you, Wolf. I'm sure.
Thank you
Thanks a
all.
lot.
Yeah,
You love
it's a passion project. It's a labor of love, right?
And I gotta say, like when people talk about work and the jobs that we do, this is playtime, man. I mean, the best jobs, especially so, it's fun. We have a lot of fun, and it's a lot of hard work, but it's not work. It's
He's lying.
It's
We're actually
something else.
super serious. It's kind of
okay.
all
I
just
deal
sort of
with that.
glare at each other.
I mean, in all honesty, I always tell people it's like we literally get paid to hang out with our friends and play make believe. Like that's what we have to
the
do.
hours get long, but who
Stephanie,
cares? Like
don't
maybe you're
help
sweaty in that
him.
suit, but who cares? You know, it's like
I mean, don't get us wrong. There's a lot of work that goes ahead of it. We've got to study a lot. We've got to get the roles. There's a lot. That's all the work part. But once we're in there, that's the playtime. So.
Once you're there, it's all about Velcro hugs.
Velcro hugs. Yep.
Yeah,
All the
you're
Velcro
losing,
hugs.
constantly losing dots. My knee is on your crotch. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it is a real privilege to be a working actor in any field, but especially in games where you get such license to be a part of such wonderful stories, and some of them are truly iconic. Like Resident Evil is got such a lineage that to be asked to play one of these iconic roles is truly a privilege and really fun. So that even the bonus of people enjoying our work is kind of even more than we expected in some respects, because you've already been given the gift in that way. So it's a privilege to be able to play and have fun, and hopefully hear people enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to play down how hard like other actors work, but I feel like my job's really easy. When everyone's like, "Oh, you're hard work," I was like, "Not my hard work. The writer's hard work, the producer's hard work, the director's hard work, the technician's hard work." I feel like we just show up and they treat us really well, and they're so grateful for us. And it doesn't feel like work at all. I never feel like we're the ones working hard, but I can only speak for myself. I said, long hours are just hours. When you love what you're doing, it doesn't matter. And, we love doing it. But I never feel like I'm the hard worker. I feel a bit guilty about the fantastic life we live as actors.
Jolene, can you work a little harder? Thanks.
I would say to back that up, actually, in films, people do tend to stick around in the credits. Please, can I urge all gamers to start looking at the credits more? Because as Jolene's quite rightly said, we turn up once the bulk of the work has been done. We add a little bit extra on top of all these people's hard works. Have a look at the credits, even if you just speed through it, man. Just see how many hundreds and hundreds of people sometimes who've been doing this for years and put their heart and soul. If you know what crunch is, you should look up that term. But see how much hard work goes in before we even step into these wonderful characters that we're given, because they are, it is a collaboration in that sense of our craft with their craft. So please do read the credits.
Look, Nick had to choke himself out for a line, but I think he enjoyed that. I feel like that was for his own benefit.
I think he just wanted that recorded for everyone to see and hear.
That was not intentional, but I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, sure.
I love the fact we're like 3 minutes into the interview, we're already talking about auto asphyxiation.
This is going to get dark really quick.
Sorry.
Oh yes, I agree.
Let's keep it wholesome. I try to keep it wholesome, so let's try.
I don't. And I see you eating those cookies over there. You're gonna go through a whole box.
Yep.
If it wasn't distracting with the crunching, I would.
It's actually really funny with the Oreos. When I did Nick's shoot for him a couple months ago down in Texas, our friend jokingly proposed to him with an Oreo. We've got pictures of it. It's like, Nick, you got them. They're funny.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, so did you do that last shoot that he did with the ones that you posted, Nick? Those ones that were so beautiful with the girl.
That was Tony.
That shoot was so fantastic. Your work is incredible. I really loved all of the shots from that. It was really sexy and gritty and groovy. It was really awesome.
I think my heart just stopped.
Tony the man and our friend Suwan played Ada.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Oh yeah, so beautiful. Congrats on that. I'm a big fan of that shoot. I don't know.
That was a lot of fun. It would be epic to put together a panel with everybody. That would be so much fun.
Oh.
It'd be hilarious. But quick shout out to Suwan, Dell, and Leslie for helping with that shoot as well. It was a fun time, and we want to do more of that.
Is she Ada?
She was Suwan was Ada, yeah.
And she was so beautiful. She was such a perfect Ada. Like, I really am such a fan of that shoot. I'm not just blowing smoke up your. Gorgeous. I really loved every aspect of it.
I'm gonna text her right now and tell her that. She's not gonna believe me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She's stunning. She's so beautiful.
Yes, tell her, please.
Yeah.
I've got another $5 one that was given by Rena earlier. Rena or Rena says, "Rest in peace to Paul. He will always be in our hearts, and let's make this the best stream ever." And I think we're doing that. We're having a blast.
Yeah.
And to the chat, if I'm not catching your regular questions, I'm paying attention right now to the super chats because they put some money behind it. So I'm going to get to their questions quickly. But I am monitoring. I will pull up the rest of them as I can see them. Just don't feel bad if I miss yours. And also, your question may be answered for the Resident Evil 3 cast in an interview. So just to let you know.
Yeah. Whoa.
I missed all of that. What did you say?
It's all about you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's a good.
We were
It was
just
a good
talking
time to
about
step away, actually. So
You didn't want to hear that.
that Nikolai guy.
This one comes from XXYY Lover Girl. Says, Brad and I want to send warm wishes to everyone. Hopefully we get to see you at a con soon. Let's raise some money for good charity during these times.
Love it.
love.
They're such great supporters. Such great supporters. I'm really thankful for Maddie.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, hopefully when all this goes over and the virus is gone and we can set up, that'd be cool to have like just a big Resident Evil convention where it's all the Resident Evil cast, everybody's invited, everything's Resident Evil themed, Resident Evil merch, Resident Evil, artists, all kinds of stuff.
And kissing and hugging.
Yeah. Take advantage of it now that we can do it again. Yeah.
Everyone can, touch. I really thought about that because I was like, oh man, I'm such a hugger with like all my cons. Like, I don't even know how many people I've hugged at this point. So I was like, I hope we can go back to normal because this is going to be weird for me if I'm like, hi, how are you?
Stay 6 feet away.
Giving everybody the stiff arm.
It's so hard. That's so difficult for
Would
me
you like
naturally.
Resident Evil mask?
Yeah. That'd be perfect.
Exactly.
Here's
I've seen some of those. Those are actually pretty sweet, though. The Umbrella Corporation ones.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm anti-Umbrella, but they're so
I would
sweet.
buy that in a second.
Me too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those.
Do they have them?
They do. I saw some, actually. A couple people had tagged it over to me. They look pretty cool.
Oh, I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Link.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know if there's any
Orders one, grab me one, I'll PayPal you.
any seamstress out there that are making them, hit them up, let them know. They're looking for some.
Totally. Yeah.
Hey Neil, did you have any kind of method acting to get into the role for Nemesis? Did you like drag Nicole around set or something, or just answer everybody with the word stars?
Well, yeah, Nicole and I have an interesting history now. We have a series of photos. We're updating them actually. We've got about 4 photos over the 2 years and the so many projects that we've been part of that we can't talk about, some of which we can't talk about. Yeah, we sort of have an interesting methodology of beating the crap out of each other. It's working so far. Yeah, well, I do actually come from a method background, so I know it's a joke, but in all seriousness, you know, each character, including things like Nemesis, I do approach with that sort of mindset of how do you get into it. But, working with Jeff and Nicole, as I've said before, it's playtime. I mean, these two, they're like my brother and sister now. It's family. We had such a ball. And I think the main thing is that, and I'm sure for the RE2 cast, it was the same, that once you trust very quickly, if you get a sense of trust between actors, you can take risks. You can play within safety, obviously, but you can feel that confident about doing something like dragging somebody around by the legs, which I think I have videos of that with Nicole.
There are videos of this, yeah.
There are videos of this, of knowing what her limit is, what my limit is, and working together as opposed to trying to, I don't know, trying to worry too much about what you should be doing and what you can be doing. But with Nemesis, I kind of based it on. I have a daughter, and I kind of based it on some of her moments, I think, in life. I don't talk so much about my private life. I'm quite private. But there was a couple of things that occurred to me that she did that went, I am stealing that.
This is based on a very young child. Now you know.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh my
That's pretty
god.
interesting. That's a nice
Kind
little.
of psychotic, murderous kind of. Yeah.
Kind of makes
poor
Nemesis
daughter.
a little
Your
less
poor
imposing
daughter.
now.
I don't know.
That's
I-
fun stuff.
Being a parent myself, toddlers are scary.
Oh,
I was gonna tell you.
They throw tantrums, man.
Yeah.
Honors.
Hey, I got a quick question. Can I ask a quick question of the RE3 cast?
Yeah.
I'd be curious about this. In regards to firearms, military training, anything like that, did you 3 have to go through that in training? Did you have a background in it? Was it brand new for you?
I think I can shoot this over to both Jeff or Neil, who have a lot of military training and who were total advocates for me and helped me to continue to jump into Jill's shoes in regards to her professional nature. So I give them full credit for making me look like a badass. Actually, both of them at the initial callbacks and auditions,
Yeah,
we were
that's right,
standing
yeah.
out in the parking lot, and I was like, "Yo, give me your thoughts on this pose," and they're like, "Sure." I was like, "Great, sweet." So both of them literally gave me pointers in the auditions, and then of course, once we got on the set, there was a ton of action moments.
Yeah.
It was
awesome.
sweet, actually. And a slight tangent to that. Both Jeff, Nicole, and I am going to speak for you, but we got on at the audition level as if we were on the job already. Like, I remember meeting Jeff.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
There was sort of
interesting.
an instant chemistry. There was sort of an instant chemistry even during the audition process. Sort of unbeknownst to us that any of us were going to be cast. But I also just sort of felt like in general that the vibe at that particular time was everybody was very open and very generous with their acting and very sort of inclusive. I don't know if that's always the vibe in a room where there's sort of that level of competition, I guess, as it were. But we had a great time even at the audition, and I do remember Nicole, helping with some of like the firearms handling. I've had some fairly significant training in it. I wouldn't call myself professional, but I've been around them a lot and worked with some people who have had extensive training and done courses and things like that. It's been one of the single most valuable things I've ever decided to just kind of like casually learn.
Yeah.
Totally.
We've got a couple more that have come in. Here's one from Jamie for $4.99. Thank you for bringing back an important part of my childhood. Looking great in a cosplay, Nick.
Thank you very much, Jamie. Thank you.
Yep. Another 5 from Ape of the Hour says, Nick, you have to watch your stuff with those Oreos. As Nikolai says, where's your self-preservation?
Where's your sense of self-preservation, you fat fuck?
By the way, your intro to that episode is still one of my favorite of all time. I loved how you improvised that.
Mine.
Yeah, your Nikolai intro is awesome. Guys, look forward to that. We put out Neil's interview. He does a really great version of Nikolai, which is really cool for the intro. Something just off the top that I loved.
Oh, I can't wait.
Good stuff.
Awesome.
Jeff had a great one too.
You made me nervous.
I was
because you said
general.
They're all good. They're all good.
Yeah, I always put them on the spot. I'm like, go into your character if you want to. If not, we can just do it straight. But if you want to improvise, have fun with it.
Yeah.
No pressure.
You don't need to give me much. As Jeff and Nicole can contest, what is it? I'm one of those machines that you put a quarter in or something. I really like the analogy. I'm going to steal it.
Did you know that I said that in an interview about you?
Fucking listen to it. Dude.
I was like, I said that exact same thing.
We've got a 150 from our good friend Susie, the Spear Hunter. Susie, you're amazing.
Thank you so much.
Wow,
Hi,
thank you.
I get to speak to Susie really soon.
Oh, awesome. That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Susie said, I love this community so much. Ro and all these amazing talents. You guys are doing something amazing today. For Paul's memory and to the people that need the support, Stars Alpha Team now and forever.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give a little love to the Bravo team, too.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
You rock, Susie.
Thank you, Susie. You're amazing.
You're awesome.
We've got another one from, let me go back up here. I don't want to miss any. I scrolled all the way down. Wow, there's a lot that have come in since that one.
Thank you guys so much for the
Great.
support.
Yeah.
It helped so many
Yeah.
people.
I know. I wish I had told. I feel like I need to tell people on my. I didn't know I was coming on, so it was super last minute.
We all were, I just retweeted. You put out a great tweet. I was like, tweet it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it right now. I'm sorry. If you see me looking down, it's not because I'm being rude on my phone. It's because I'm just trying to let people know.
I think a lot of people are going to share this. This is a
Rolling
big
Facebook.
deal, and it's
Yeah.
it's all going to a good cause.
For
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. So we got another $5 from Archangel. Says it's nice to see the remake cast all together, and at least this donation is going to something good. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We will make sure it goes to the right place. We got another one from the Legacy of Dragon for $5. Says, Neil, I love you as Nikolai. Thank you for bringing the character to life. Can you say, I'm Nikolai and I hate you in your Nikolai voice? Much love.
Sure, I can do that. I'm Nikolai, and I fucking hate you.
That's good.
What? You ask, I give.
Awesome.
Fucking generous in my time. Want to pay me, yes? Something like that.
We've got a $9.99 from Vlog Sessions. Question for Nicole. How did you feel about performing Jill's voice lines, and did she make you feel empowered? That's a good question. I like the empowerment
That's a great
part.
question.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, it's a dream. I don't know how you could get to take on such a badass, iconic woman like Jill Valentine and not feel totally empowered. I was also surrounded by just an incredible team that allowed me to play and to feel super empowered and bring a lot of strength to who she is while still playing with levity and joy and humor. And both of these amazing men definitely facilitated that opportunity for what?
It's called a radio.
You know what?
It's called
Thanks. But it was a dream come true. Yes,
Hey,
I thought
don't bash on the woman here, okay? I'm with you, all right?
Thank
Come
you. And I also think probably Stephanie feels the same way, and Jolene, like when you get to come and bring your physicality to it as well, when your movements matter, when you're getting to do full performance capture and facial capture, there's just nothing like sitting in that strength. And we do that in the voice booth too. We use our bodies and we're physical to bring strong performances vocally, but when you're on the mocap stage, like, yeah, it's strong because you're getting in there and you're acting out these scenes as professional, trained, military and police officers. So it's hella empowering and definitely gives you a lot of appreciation for people that do it in the real world.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something that Resident Evil really does. And I think I talked about this with Stephanie a while back, and maybe Jolene. But
Yeah.
Resident Evil does a good job of empowering its female heroes. Like it has a lot of strong female lead characters that are heroes, and I love that. That's something that even the villains are strong. Even when they're bad, they're still strong.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's something that I think Resident Evil has always done well, except in maybe in the case of Ashley in Part 4. But I'll give her credit. Actually, I can't give her credit. She was she supposed to be a teenager, right? Like young-ish?
She was
Yeah.
like 21.
Young,
She
yeah.
went to-
Oh, so she wasn't. Okay. So then she has no
Well,
excuse.
To be, yeah, I was gonna say,
Sherry.
to be fair, Claire was like 19, okay?
Yeah,
So-
exactly. Claire
No
and
excuse.
Sherry
not
was
technically trained. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sherry, of course. I mean, but Sherry, took her under our wing. She's,
had good mentoring, good
You're her
coaching.
new family.
Exactly. She's got a good hardcore family that'll teach her what to do. So I
Definitely.
was lucky enough, Claire was lucky enough to have Chris and just grew up in a hard life, that just made her that way. But yeah, no, I agree with you though, Nikki, as well. Like it just one of my favorite things I think is definitely just how empowered a lot of female characters are within the Resident Evil universe that I don't think we necessarily see in some other franchises. For me personally, I enjoyed that, my character was not sexy. Like if she came off sexy, it wasn't because it was intentional. It's just because, she exudes sexiness, but not intentionally. But there was just something very empowering with her character, personally from the Claire side that just, being able to be strong, but also having this very vulnerable human side was also really fun because it's like you're playing with a complicated character then. It doesn't have to necessarily be two-dimensional. Like, yes, we say some cheesy lines and stuff, but that's, I guess, part of the franchise at this point. Like,
Yeah.
we're supposed to have some of that campiness in there, but within all of that, there's still very layered characters. There's still stuff that's going on, and then there's still a lot of story behind it. And, so, I think that Resident Evil just in general really does a really good job with that, and getting to partake in that and portray super iconic characters like that, even just from the female perspective is
Totally. And I mean, it's really just a state of naturalism, right? It's not even that they're having to work too hard to make women look like badasses. They're just giving an opportunity for some
exactly.
realism to show through.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
absolutely.
just giving a space to just
It's
be
like they're writing them as real people. So weird.
crazy. Oh my God.
Right?
Who would have thunk?
It's called a radio.
It's called
No, I agree. I mean, I agree with you. I think most actors, would agree that we're always surprised by normalization about they're a strong female character that doesn't need a male character, and that's a surprise. It's like, well, not really. It's just that's how it should be. But
Yeah.
we are
Shouldn't
surprised.
be.
I have to say, I've been in games for 10 years now, performance capture and voice, and there is a movement towards, across the board, there is a movement now towards the strong female character, which should be normal from the get-go. It is refreshing to see allowance for female actors to empower these strong female characters in a way that is realistic. I mean, I'm with you.
We
in that
like
respect.
playing as women, right, everybody?
Yeah.
We love it. I feel so comfortable now. I feel like I can show the guns finally because I didn't want
Oh,
to
damn.
intimidate anybody.
He's right here.
Oh, thanks.
sorry.
I'm wearing.
Oh,
I
snap.
really didn't want to intimidate, but now I feel like I'm okay
I
here.
feel like Jeff is the only one in sleeves now, and he's the one who called Neil out about it. I mean, Nick, you've got half a sleeve, so I'll give you that.
Half.
I got half.
I thought you were.
Got one gun out.
The one gun show.
Yeah.
So Mr. Dutchy Dutch donated £2, says, "Get off my train, shitbird." I love that line.
Yeah.
Oh, Bill.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Hope.
Bill's amazing. I talked to him the other day. We had a great conversation. So that's coming soon. I would have invited Bill, but I know his schedule's a little more rigid because he's over there on your side, Neil. So it's a little late over there for you guys.
Yeah, we spoke the other day, actually. He's a delicious actor to work with.
He really is.
Wonderfully. Oh my god. If you get a chance to go stalk Bill on IMDb or anywhere else, and do it, you won't be disappointed.
Well, and if you get the chance to describe somebody as delicious, don't.
I
No,
love
you
that,
should
though.
use the word yummy. Yummy is much better.
I wouldn't. Yummy
This
is
is too much
delicious
man, really,
adjacent. I would say
delicious.
I think if you have an English accent, you can say it.
Yeah, it's like it works. You said it. I was like, I should use that. No, I shouldn't.
Just
I shouldn't use that word.
If you're American, it just falls flat and weird. If you're British, you can say almost anything, and Americans are like,
Sounds amazing. So I've got a $2 donation from Captain Falco. Says, "Question to all: what is your favorite RE monster?"
Good question.
So start at the top. Start with Nick. I'm going in order on my screen. Favorite RE monster, and you're a fan, so you've got a lot to go from.
Yo, Neil, I'm going with your boy Nemi. Nemi has always been one of my favorites, and I just want to say real quick, and then you can all answer. I haven't played RE3 yet. I can only play these games with my brother and my cousin back in Boston. I'm not with them, so I gotta wait. Okay, but I'm extremely excited to see your rendition of Nemesis. I cannot wait, dude.
How is
All right,
that?
that's
Real quick,
you
before
just you wait.
before I move on, I want to ask Nick about that. Nick, being like a real hardcore fan of this series, like we are, what is your thoughts about going into Resident Evil 3 when you get a chance? Are you just super excited and kind of nervous about it at the same time? And not only that, you're sitting across from Neil, who's his nemesis.
I'm
But
scared
you know
already.
where it's coming from, though, right? You're 3-year-old, so I don't know.
Yeah, Nemesis is
Yeah,
the
but
small
if
child.
Nemesis captured the essence of his resting psycho face, I'm gonna be terrified.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, I'm very excited. I know I'm gonna love this game just because of what it meant in my childhood, and I've seen a little bit of gameplay. And it's okay. No spoilers aside, I really am excited from the bottom of my heart.
Stephanie, do you have a favorite monster in the series?
Oh, man.
Just from your knowledge of it, I know you went up against
Yeah.
Broken, so
I
ROE.
mean, it's hard because I feel like different monsters kind of carry different amounts of terror. And so, gosh, I don't know. I mean, I would say I've always kind of had an issue with liquors in general. There's something about them that just freak me out. I guess I don't do very well with them. But if we're
Exposed
talking
brains.
like, what was that?
the exposed brain and
Yeah, and just like the way the body like moves and stuff, like, and you can't always tell if they're coming or not. But
The heads
Yeah.
move too much. Really
Yeah.
trying to
just
do that.
everything moves too much. I think that's what it is. There's too much movement. No,
Hold
yeah,
still.
just stop moving.
Just
You know, I'm not. I think the ones that are that feel the most realistic sometimes are the ones that freak me out the most. So you know, obviously any of like the villains or anything like that, like an RE7, like that whole family was freaking creepy. Like I can't even get through that. I mean, I know they're not monsters. Are we talking about literal monsters? Do we have to talk about literal monsters? Because there's like
I think you
monsters.
did well. You did well.
yeah, they
I'm-
fit within the monster universe to us.
Yeah, and obviously Mr. X. I mean that.
Yeah.
But I think it's more the sound of his footsteps that are the most terrifying.
That's
So
true. That's true.
yeah.
Well, I know not everybody in the cast is like huge gamers. You guys aren't all playing the video games. You're not familiar with all the characters. So maybe in general, outside of Resident Evil, if you're not familiar with the Resident Evil monsters, what's a monster from your childhood or just now, just something in the horror world that you really love,
That's a good question.
or fear?
That's a great one.
Let's go to Jolene. She's next to my bottom left corner here.
I don't watch horror stuff that much anymore because, like, I remember I watched the first season of American Horror Story and I loved it. But like everywhere I'd go, I would see like death and murder, and like it gets into your psyche kind of. And maybe that's just because like when you're an actor, you take on stuff. Like I don't know. So I had to stop watching. It was almost giving me like anxiety. I was like, oh, everyone's face I look at, I see like cracked open with blood, which is fun for like a minute. And then I was like, I can't go on like this. But when I did watch scary movies, I watched a lot of like Nightmare on Elm Street and all those other things, and it was always like the weird monsters that didn't seem plausible, that I didn't find very scary. It was always the movies about real people that were sociopaths that went around like brutally murdering people and preying on them, and that
scary
still does scare me to this day because that's real and it
Well,
happened.
that's like why Hannibal Lecter is such an icon in the horror world. I mean, he's a person that is a cannibal and eats people, but he's not a monster. But yet he's on that level of Freddy Krueger and stuff. You know, he's up there.
Real life
he's a real monster. Like you could actually be eaten by that monster. That's not
yeah, actually. What about you, Neil? Is there a particular from the franchise or just horror in general that sticks with you?
I am a gamer. I remember being terribly bad at Resident Evil 1 and 2, which I love both of them. But to be honest with you, I didn't know, maybe it says a lot about me, really. I never really had a fear of any monsters and stuff. I used to get frustrated. But I think the thing is that the first thing I remember really scaring me in media was the Teletubbies. I just thought they were really fucking disturbing.
They are.
I just assumed they were going to undermine... I think they were brainwashing children. I was just really concerned that whatever they were doing was somehow like going to impact on youth and generations to come and undermine our society in a terrible way. So I think Teletubbies were the most terrifying thing I remember seeing from that period. In terms of monsters, I just not really.
Not really. What about you, Jeff? Do you have anything that stands out from you from movies or games or any kind of media?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was terrified of the Gremlins. I don't know if
yeah.
Gremlins scared the hell out of me when I was a kid.
I think people like when I look back at the Gremlins, they're some of my favorite movies as a kid as well. And 2 always stands out more because of how ridiculous it was. And I was a little bit older when I watched 2, so they're not scary to me. But when I watched 1, I'm like, yeah, this is a horror movie. This is a real
I remember
horror
watching
movie.
it and thinking like, I can't believe I watched that when I was a child. Like it's dark and it was like terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
What about you, Nicole?
I mean, my hands are tied. Look, I mean, just look at Neil's face.
That's true. That's true.
Look at him. Terrifying.
Psycho face.
Yeah, no, definitely nemesis. But I do want to give a special shout out to the amazing creatures that shove their very scary, awful tentacle hand on things. Like, you know, in Jill at some point in the game. Spoiler. Those are awful. And I remember when I was first in the booth, we were like, yeah, just imagine that you've had eggs laid in your stomach and throw them up. And I was like, no.
I'm like, oh, okay.
I believe I can do that.
No, it's not a major spoiler. Don't worry.
La 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 la.
I know, right?
Yeah, Nicole, I was going to tell you that the way the spoiler works is you say spoiler first, not after you've already
I
spoiled
like the
it.
way Nicole does it.
That's why it's an alert, not a spoiler apology.
No, there's like hardly anything that I even said about what these things are, look like, do. I just said that, you know, all right, fine. Sorry, Nick. It was a spoiler.
You spoiled it all. It's done. It's over.
You're never playing.
I did see at one point somebody, I kind of missed a few super
stream
chats there. I think is it back up now?
Yep, it's back up.
Okay, it's back up. I lost some of the super chats in there, so if you guys are still with us, because our stream kind of cut for a second there. I did miss a few, and apologize about
my
that.
resting psycho face. I can only apologize so much.
Well, there's I still got the chat here. I got a super chat from Blair Farrell, and this one's for Jeff. They say, I love your work in The Walking Dead, and congratulations on the big year. I loved your take on Carlos, and I can't wait to hear Captain America.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks again.
Yeah, for those who don't know, and we go over this in your interview when we have Jeff on, but Jeff is the voice of Hobby from Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 3. It's Season 3, right? Not 4 is where they went back to Clem and finished it off.
No, it's 3.
Yeah, 3. So that's pretty awesome. And even the protagonist, that's a long game where you guys, and that's a lot of dialogue in that game. So you're really going to get a lot of Jeff in that one.
That's awesome. Good for you, man.
Yeah. You know who else? Bill was actually in a Walking Dead game as well. Not Telltale, but he was in the Overkill one, the first-person co-op.
That's right.
Left 4 Dead style. He played Grant. Yeah, if you guys remember that really, really emotional trailer, which is one of my favorites, with the old man walking and he sits in a car and he's talking to someone and you see them actually a zombie the whole time. That was him. He's awesome.
Great at storytelling. They really like. I mean, those are very story-driven games, and and that's a fun thing to dive into.
Yeah, for sure. Tony, did you have another one after that?
Not that I see. Wait. There's we got one here from Jared Brown. Just wanted to say thank you all, and to all a good day from Australia.
Thank you, Jared.
Good day, mate.
I shouldn't be reading these. I can't read. I read it like a 3rd grade level.
No, you sound great.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So we might miss a few. I'm going to go back and try and acknowledge everybody who's donated. See if JJ can pull up a list.
Yeah. I got one here.
Here's a $2 pound from Donzi. Says, Jolene and Nick, you were fantastic in part 2.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I've got another $10 from Blair Farrell. Says, for Jeff. Oh, we already got one. Okay, that one we got.
Yeah.
Let's keep going down.
Jeff,
Okay,
you're
so
amazing. Love you.
And now, they're coming up now. Okay, so we've got 5 from Jared Brown. Says, just want to say thank you to you all and good day from Australia. We read that one.
Got that one?
Edwin Fitzgibbon says, I'm doing my thesis focusing on the gaming industry, and there's a section dedicated to RE. Just want to say thanks to the cast for your amazing work.
Aww.
Thank you for being a fan.
Much, man.
That's great.
Much appreciated.
All the ones I see. So yeah, JJ's going to try and pull up a list so we can acknowledge everybody who's had a chance to donate. I haven't seen much or had a chance to really look at the chat too much for questions outside of that weren't part of the super chat, so I apologize. But again, we do have the interviews coming up here soon, so if your questions weren't approached, they're probably going to be in the interviews for the RE3 cast.
For sure.
We're going to have more of these events throughout the year. We're going to try and work out some more group gatherings with the cast members. Also, I would like to, Resident Evil 2, you guys, I'd like to bring you guys back and do some as well. I do like to do a Christmas video style thing. I did it a few years ago with the cast of RE7. Maybe we can work that out with both casts if you guys are available later this year. But there's some things we'd like to do eventually.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Just keep us posted.
Yep.
Definitely.
Actually, before I forget, Jeff, I know you said that you had to go soon, but I wanted to ask you, did you do the motion capture for Captain America in the upcoming game too?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
All voice, face, and mocap.
Oh, triple threat. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Take on Captain
I'm
America.
looking forward. I love Captain America. I've always loved them as a kid. My father would always tell me stories. He goes, yeah, I remember those comics from when I was, because my dad's 80, so he remembers those comics from when he was young and stuff. So he just grew up telling me all the he's like, man, I wish I saved those. If I know they would have been worth something, maybe you could have gone to college. And I was like, thanks, Dad.
I remember growing up having some old Iron Man comics, and there's so many things as a kid that you have and you open up and then you don't think about keeping, and as an adult you're like, if I had kept that thing,
Yeah.
so much right now.
I could have a convertible right now.
I think that's us as parents now. We see if we're geeks and stuff and collectors, we see the value behind these things. And now as a parent, I'm buying gifts for my son, but you can't open it. It looks nice. But we're gonna put it in the closet. We're gonna leave it there.
Look at your eyes, man.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Like you're playing with it.
Or I have to buy 2 of it now so he can play with 1 and I can have 1.
Double up.
There's a big super chat that came through from one of our very close and friend of the channel who helps us, and he's one of our mods, and he's done a lot. And this is huge, Prox. I can't believe you did this. Thank you so much. Proxy dropped $200 for charity. Wow. And says he's stopping in to say hi. He's stuck at work right now. He hopes everyone's doing well, and he'll catch everyone later.
Wow.
Proxy, you
rock.
Thank you.
Thank you for your support this whole time. You rock, really.
Yeah.
Much
Thank you, Proxy.
appreciated.
Mike H is a first responder. He dropped $5 and says, whoop, whoop, keep up the great work, everyone. Love you all. Thank you, Mike, for you being out there on the front lines as a first responder. I've been there with you, sir. I was an EMT and a military corpsman for a while with the Navy, so I've been on the lines, and I know it's difficult, and I respect you, and I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Huge shout out for everybody. I mean, every country has their first responders. The NHS here is being tried to systematically being destroyed by a Tory government, and now they are saving the Tory government, literally. So I want to say a huge thank you from our side of the pond as well. for all the people that are far braver than myself and are actually there having to deal with this incredible battle in the worst conditions and seeing the most emotionally heartbreaking things as well. So huge thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
From our side as well as yours.
And this is 10 pounds from Team Tank. I'm not sure if I answered this one yet. Did you guys realize before you took the roles of the characters just how big and important this franchise was to many people? Also, Carlos was awesome in Resident Evil 3.
Carlos is awesome.
Jeff,
Jeff is the only person that can say these lines, and I think, wow, this is cool.
Honestly, yeah. I gotta agree with that. Like, anybody else saying, in a cruel Carlos less world, nobody else would probably be able to deliver it. Like Jeff nailed it.
I appreciate it. Very sweet. Thank you. I don't. I'll just to answer the question. I knew Resident Evil was a far-reaching world. I mean, it's hard to not be familiar with it in some capacity, whether it's the games or the films, or so. I was aware of it in that way. I don't think you ever even dare to like picture, what the response will be like or what your impact will be. I think that's too far beyond like where your responsibility is when you begin taking on a project like that. But I'll say I'm so pleased to be a part of it and to see how, dedicated and passionate the fans are. It's really a rewarding experience and has been just fantastic to be a part of.
I second that sentiment.
Well said.
Actually, we got something here. This is actually from my friend Suwon, who was the Ada from Nick's shoot. She says, Jolene, she loves you and that she loves your cat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cat in the background. Beautiful.
From one Ada to another.
They just come with the package. Yeah.
Well, I guess I know we kind of planned it out for an hour, so I'll start winding this down for everyone. And I want to say thank you, everyone. Thank you for the cast. Thank you guys for joining us. This is absolutely incredible. I know with the circumstances, situation, things that are happening, it's a tough time for everyone. And I want to thank you for taking the time out of your days and being part of this with us. Thank you, Nick and Stephanie, for your cosplay. I know that takes a lot of work to get into.
Sorry.
Yeah. And I guess thank you to the fans. All the fans of Resident Evil, not ours, but Resident Evil as a whole. The Resident Evil family is what I like to call us. I think we are an interesting group. We have our issues, but we all pull together usually in hard times, and we all love the same stuff, but we disagree about a lot of things as well. So thank you guys for coming here and supporting us. I want to open up the floor one last time for all of you guys to kind of, give a last piece if you want before we take off here. And we'll start with Nick again because you're still on the top.
Okay. I'll make this really quick, guys. First of all, it's a pleasure to meet you guys from the RE3 cast. I cannot wait to play the game. I know you're super talented people, so kudos to you. Welcome to the family. Thank you, ROE, for just being a huge support and a collective in the community. Thank you to the fans for helping. Thank you for every super chat. And let's just hang in there. Let's get through this and get back to some kind of normalcy, and in the meantime support who we can.
Yeah, definitely go look for everyone. I guess most of you have Cameo accounts now, right? So definitely go look for Nick and Stephanie and Jolene, Neil, Nicole, Jeff. Go look for them. Get your Cameo request in, and help support what's going on. Give some to the charity. So I just want to say too, if you guys have anything, make sure you throw that in too. Stephanie, go ahead.
I mean, really, one thing I definitely want to just bring up again too, it just with Paul Haddad and stuff too, it just the passing of him as well as just being a really fantastic Leon. And, I think I personally didn't know him, like I've never worked with him and stuff like that, but I've, just knowing, his impact that he's had over the franchise and just within our industry and stuff. And, some of the silent battle that he had to go through and stuff, everyone, I won't get emotional because it's not worth it. But all I want to say is that, I think we're all very thankful for all the work that he's done, and we're all very appreciative as a Resident Evil community. I think also as just us actors in general, I think we know the sacrifice that goes into things sometimes, and then having all these extra challenges can be very difficult. So we're very thankful for all his work, and I just want to make sure give a proper shout out for him. And then as far as everything goes with all the madness going on. I really do love and appreciate the Resident Evil fans and the community that has been just so supportive and so wonderful that I've been able to, get to know on personal levels. I've gotten to become, it's almost becomes like a Resident Evil family just within even like the fan community has been so fantastic. And I'm so thankful and so appreciative of, our random Instagram calls in and like talking to people from all over the world, and everyone supporting one another is so fantastic. And that's one thing I have to say that I have found so rewarding to be a part of and to see during these times, especially with all our quarantine and everything going on. So I love that everyone is doing that, and I encourage everyone to continue doing that. And I think that's one of the biggest signs of how strong this community is and how loving and kind everyone is here. Also, Resident Evil 3 cast, hello. I know I don't know you guys personally, although I do feel like I've worked with one of you, but I think it's a project that hasn't come out yet, so I won't say anything. So, congrats. Welcome to the RE family. It's so huge. It's so wonderful. It's a really strong, knit community. It's so fantastic. I hope that you guys experience some of the really beautiful things that we've had a chance to experience. I say thank you to my RE2 cast. I love you guys. You guys have become like friends of mine, like dear, like lifelong friends now. So I'm sorry I'm getting emotional. It's probably because just we're all under so much stress and stuff. But there's a lot of heart and love here. And so I'm very thankful for all of this. So thankful for the RE community, and thank you all for all of the donations that you're giving in. This is helping a lot of people around the world. This is helping, just encourage your fellow people that are even on, on this stream right now. So thank you guys. And thank you, Residents of Evil. You guys were my very, very first podcast interview that I did for all this. So I'm very thankful. And all right. And now and one last word, just because I have to be a little bit cheesy, but it works, is let's get through this, all of us. So.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Jolene?
So I always have to follow Stephanie. Like this happens at conventions. Like,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Next time, sit in front of her.
You just the trick is you just say ditto.
Got it.
Ditto.
Yeah, what's that? I'm just really grateful to be a part of this community. When you lose one of your own, or when we all go through something collectively together, it's just been a great joy to be a part of, and to even be able to help in this way, to volunteer my time, or just whatever we're doing, because this is wonderful to get together with you guys. And if we're also helping other people, it's just really magical and special to me. So I'm grateful to be a part of this very powerful and very loving, very groovy community. And I'll come here and join you guys anytime. So thanks for putting this together, and thanks for letting me be part of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I've got Neil. I'm seeing Neil follows Jolene. So, Neil, go for it.
Howdy. Yeah, just to reiterate what Jolene said, actually, it's been a wonderful introduction to, so thank you, Residents of Evil. And yes, nice to meet all the community, of which it's staggering how big your community is, actually. Obviously, I knew the games for quite a long time, but I wasn't completely aware of how, I knew it was a big game, but I didn't realize how big the community was associated. So it's wonderful to meet so many of you. I just want to say, really, it's a funny thing with what we're all going through. We have to really come through this as obviously strong. We have to stay strong, but not just physically. We have to be active every day, but also mentally and emotionally. And we have to start looking at, inevitably we have to look at the positive that we can take from this, no matter how difficult it is. And I say this being very lucky and having a particularly, stable environment that I'm in a very happy environment. We're working hard to ensure that. But some of you aren't. Some of you are going to be having a very difficult time, especially people like first responders or even just people that are isolated. This time will pass, and things will get better no matter how bleak they seem. But you have to love yourself. And I don't mean that in a kind of, cheesy kind of way. I mean, literally, you have to understand where you are, that this will change, that you can do things every single day to help yourself get out of bed, get dressed, clean, go on the internet if you have access to the internet, which I hope most people do. Find something new to inspire you, even if there's not much you can do about it. Try and learn a language. I don't know, anything. Just do something to try and keep yourself seeing future and seeing something positive. Because it's very easy to do nothing and just watch, for want of a better example, just watch TV all day and not get change and not look after yourself. And I think that's the main thing for each individual person, is that you may not be able to directly help. Self-isolation is helping, actually.
Mhm.
But you have to help yourself. You've got to look after yourself as well. And it can be as simple as just phoning friends, saying, I'm not okay. Or saying, are you okay? Or learning something new. Or sitting with yourself, you know. So stay safe. Stay positive. Try and find the joy of just being alive each day. Because, you know, I got friends of mine in Nightingale Hospital. They're actors, but they've gone back to the NHS to work. And it's scary. Some of the stuff they're telling me is terrifying. And we have to stay positive. We have to keep hope alive in that way. So be well, stay safe, and thank you. Thanks very much. And to my RE3 brothers and sister, mwah, and lovely to meet the RE2 cast as well. I can't wait to give you hugs, literally or virtually, when I see you all. So, yeah. And
Without
Nick,
the-
honestly,
Thank you.
cosplay off the charts, sir. Amazing.
Thank you.
Steffi's like, well, Claire just wore a jacket and a tank top. He gets the cool RPG uniform.
I mean, look, I'll eventually pull out the like beaten up look, but it's just a lot of work, and I didn't really want to walk around my house with blood, so and dirt.
Fair enough.
Great words, Neil, though. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Jeff, you have anything you want to add to that?
I mean, so much of it's been said, but I'll just say thank you to you guys for hosting this thing. Thanks to the fans for showing up and participating and donating. It really means a lot, and it goes a long way. And we're all super, super grateful for it. It's great to meet everybody. It's good to see familiar faces again. And, you know, be good to yourself, be good to each other.
Yeah, definitely. Nicole, I guess we'll end on you here.
I love it. I mean, it's all been said. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to get to come together, to meet the cast that I haven't met yet before, to spend time with the cast that I love.
Yeah. I know we can do it virtually. Kisses.
Kisses.
Hugs.
I like how the ladies come in for a nice kiss, and then both Nick and Dior.
I was aiming at Nick.
Had my germs all over you.
You guys have made my, you guys meaning these people, but also all of the Resident Evil community have made my quarantine just so much fun in so many ways. I just love interacting with you online. Continue to send your fan art, continue to say hello and reach out. I try to as much as I can and respond as often as possible, especially while we're all stuck inside and needing to connect virtually. So thank you. Keep playing, keep surviving. You're all awesome. Much love.
Love. Thank you again. You guys are amazing. It's really been an honor and a pleasure to spend time and just kind of meet all of you guys over the last couple of years. We've worked together, the new cast coming in, and seeing some old familiar faces we haven't talked to in a while. I love it. I'm so happy we're able to do this. And with the whole thing that's going on, I'm just glad we were able to work this out for the fans. I'm glad the team came together, and I hope you guys enjoyed it out there in the ROE universe, the Resident Evil family. And we'll hopefully bring some more like this soon. JJ, you have any closing thoughts?
That's it. Just thank you guys so much to everyone who has shown their support, for donating to charity, for the cast of Resident Evil 2 and 3 making this possible. It's amazing. So thank you guys so much. And I'm just so glad that we got to do this today. So thank you all so much.
For sure. Tony, you going to save rounds over there, Tony?
Just to keep it quick, because I know guys got to go. Just to thank everybody for coming on here. You guys being amazing actors and friends here at the channel. Especially for Nick for giving me the chance to work with you, bud, my fellow Boston buddy, and then greatly appreciate it, pal. And if I ever get out to LA again when this all ends and stuff like that, love to work with you guys, give you a great deal. And Neil, if I'm ever back in England, same deal goes for you, brother.
Yeah, I'm over in LA quite often, so I'll let you know as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Great. Yeah. So I guess in closing, thank you guys for all of your generous donations. We will be giving that to the Crisis Aid International to support people in need right now, which are a lot of, again, with this whole thing that's going on, it's pretty horrible. And with Paul Haddad, we are going to launch a hashtag campaign, and we encourage all of the Resident Evil universe fans, family, actors, everybody who's involved. If you want to, put a statement out, just a little what Paul meant to you type thing, just to honor him, love him, and what did he mean to you, and how did he impact your life? Give us some positivity, and we're going to collect all these, and we're going to make a video with video messages from people. We're going to do showing tweets and Facebook comments and everything, Instagram posts, all this stuff we're going to pull together and do just a really nice celebration video for Paul. He was a good friend of mine, and it really hurt losing him. So I'm looking forward to making this for him. I know that this is what he would really want, is something, because how much he loved all of us. So Thank you again, guys. I'll pass it over to you, JJ. You want to close it out? We are getting a couple more super chats. I don't know if you want to address those real quick on the way out here.
Yeah. Again, thank you guys so much. We got Mike H with a $5. Thank you, man. 280 Zaku with a $2. We got Blair Farrell with a $10, Eddie Jr. with a $5, Jared with a $5, Edwin with a $5. There's just so many, guys. Thank you. I'm sorry we won't be able to get to them all. We really appreciate it, and like
They all matter.
They all matter
Yeah.
so
All
much. So
matter.
thank you guys so much. But yeah, that's all I got. So again, thank you to everybody for pulling together and making this possible. It truly was an epic moment in the Resident Evil family. So with that being said, guys, thank you very much, and that's going to be it for today. So, all right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you guys. Bye.
Thank you, guys.